One F-35 against how many Su-30s? At first, feels like a numbers game. Could for flankers overwhelm it? 6, maybe 10, but war isn't fought on calculators. To answer that question, we have to peel back the layer stealth technology versus maneuverability, advanced sensors versus raw firepower, precision versus numbers. And when we place Venezuela Su-30s, Russian-made air defenses, and even the shadow of Chinese support against America's most advanced fighter, the answer becomes far more intriguing than a simple ratio. The F-35 isn't just a fighter, it's a flying supercomputer. Its ESA radar can track enemies hundreds of kilometers away. Its stealth profile allows it to slip past detection, striking before an opponent even knows it's there. And its fusion of data from satellites, AWACS, and other aircraft means the pilot sees the entire battlespace in ways no Su-30 pilot can imagine. In pure dogfighting agility, the Su-30 might still twist and turn with the best of them. But modern air combat is no longer about pulling the sharpest turns. It's about seeing first, firing first, and surviving. And in that equation, the F-35 holds the cards. Still, some critics raise eyebrows. The F-35 is expensive. Its stealth coating requires careful maintenance. Its weapons bay limits how much it can carry internally. So the nagging question remains, is this billion-dollar program truly the unbeatable edge? Or just another overhyped symbol of American air power? Venezuela operates around 24 Su-3 OMK-2 fighters acquired from Russia in the mid-2000s. These jets are big, powerful, and known for their maneuverability. They carry long-range R-27 and R-77 missiles, potentially threatening even advanced opponents. But here's the challenge. Against stealth aircraft like the F-35, those missiles may never lock on until it's too late. Venezuela's Su-30s could try to swarm, launching multiple aircraft to trap a single stealth fighter. Yet that raises the question, would they be sacrificing pilots to chase a ghost? And quantity doesn't always mean resilience. If America launched precision strikes on Venezuela's air, many Su-30s could be destroyed before they even left the ground. But still, in a war of attrition, numbers matter. Could for Su-30s equal one F-35, 6, 10? No one knows for certain. That's where the debate heats up. Venezuela doesn't rely only on fighters. Its military also fields Russian-built air defense systems. The F-2 and Torum-1. Together, they form a layered wall of fire. In theory, on S-300, battery could target stealth aircraft at long range. Venezuelan commanders could launch salvos of missiles, hoping that sheer numbers would eventually overwhelm even a stealth jet. 10, 20, 30 missiles for a single sortie if one connects. It could shift the battle. But theory often collapses under pressure. The US has decades of experience suppressing enemy air defenses. Electronic warfare pods, decoys, drones, and cruise missiles would likely precede any F-35 strike. History shows that American air power usually finds cracks in the shield. So, the question lingers. Can Venezuela's tangled web of Russian defenses really turn the F-35 into prey, or will it become just another illusion of security? Here's where things get even more intriguing. While Russia supplied the Su-30s and air defenses, China may be the silent partner in the background. Beijing could provide satellite intelligence, helping Venezuelan radars spot stealth aircraft earlier. Swarms of cheap kamikaze drones, perhaps supplied through back channels, could saturate American defenses. Electronic warfare systems might attempt to jam the F-35's data links, cutting it off from its networked advantage. And then there's the bigger speculation. Could China transfer more advanced missiles like improved HQ-9 South or even anti-ship ballistic missiles to complicate U.S. strategy? Publicly, Beijing may deny it. Privately, such moves could shift the balance, at least temporarily. But again, it's worth asking, is China really ready to stake its credibility on Venezuela's skies? Or is this just another phantom of geopolitics, more talked about than tested? History has a way of repeating itself. In the 1960s and 70s, Vietnam faced overwhelming U.S. technology. America deployed B-52s F-4 Phantoms, and cutting-edge systems. Yet Vietnam countered with numbers. Soviets applied SMS and asymmetric tactics. Some see parallels in Venezuela today. A smaller nation, backed indirectly by larger powers, trying to resist a technologically superior opponent through persistence and strategy. Could the U.S. find itself bogged down in another Vietnam scenario in Latin America? This time above Caracas, instead of Hanoi. Probably not to the same scale, but the echoes are enough to stir debate. And then there's the wild card: unmanned aerial vehicles. For the cost of a single F-35, a country could buy hundreds, perhaps thousands of small attack drones. Imagine swarms of UAVs, each worth only tens of thousands of dollars, converging on a stealth jet that costs over $100 million. Even if most are shot down, what if one slips through? It's the nightmare of cost asymmetry. Venezuela, with Chinese backing, could flood the skies with cheap drones, forcing America's expensive jets and missiles into an unsustainable trade-off. Mini Hook, would you really risk a $100 million aircraft against a sky filled with disposable drones? So where does this leave us? On one side, the F-35 unmatched stealth, networked awareness, advanced weapons, and the confidence of real-world testing. On the other, Venezuela's Su-30s, Russian-built defenses, and potential Chinese support, a patchwork of numbers, asymmetry, and political will. If the sky's over, Venezuela turned hostile, one F-35 could theoretically down multiple Su-30s before ever being detected. But could sheer volume fighter SAM's drones eventually overwhelm even America's edge? The truth is messy. Technology gives the U.S. an overwhelming advantage. But numbers, persistence, and external support can make battles longer, costlier, and more uncertain than Pentagon planners might hope. So how many Su-30s equal one F-35? The answer is not a simple number. It depends on context, on support, on strategy. The illusion is that numbers alone can offset technology, or that technology alone guarantees victory. Reality lives in the space between. America's F-35 remains the most advanced multi-role fighter in the world. Its victories in simulations and its expanding global fleet reinforce its dominance. But even a stealth jet is not invincible. Every edge can dull. Every advantage can be challenged. And Venezuela's, especially with quiet help from powers like China, may dream of making the skies less one-sided than they appear.